Okay, now we're going to talk about adding and removing virtual machines and the uses of checkpoints. To move a virtual machine from one host to another, essentially you just pick up the VHD and move it. You can also export it, but you can export the VM, move it over. You'll still need to import it in the other location. Essentially, there's really no concept of opening a VM that already exists in the same way that you would say open a VM or create a VM or import a new appliance in VMware Workstation. It's you either create a new VM or you import one. To remove one, you just choose the delete link in the actions pane. There's really no difference between deleting it from um, removing it from view and deleting it entirely. So be careful about how you do this. Make sure you don't nuke these things unless you really mean to. Now, we also have the concept of snapshots in Hyper-V, except that we call them checkpoints. You can save the current state of a virtual machine. This is particularly useful if you're trying to save the state of a VM right before you make an important change or right after you've made an important change that has gone well and you would like to save that new state. So if things go sideways, you can roll back. We use these essentially the way we use snapshots, and there are two different kinds of them. A standard checkpoint will save everything about the VM, the state of the disk, the state of the memory, up to and including currently running applications. It's like hibernating a bare metal machine. The production snapshot will take the state of the VM, but will ignore what's currently open. So you'll get the disk state and configuration and things like that. You can spin it up and boot it again to the exact state you want it in, but you won't have the precise state it was at the moment you took that snapshot. Now, to create one of these checkpoints, you can click that checkpoint toolbar button, or you can use the actions pane. Now, the fact that a checkpoint exists may complicate some tasks. Say, for example, you want to resize a hard drive or something like that under certain circumstances, particularly if it is a whereas whereas VMware will more or less, you either tell it to take a snapshot or it'll take a snapshot when you shut it down. Hyper-V may take these periodically, just as you're going along. It may even snapshot the system as you start it. So if you're trying to do something that you know you want to do, and it tells you there's a snapshot in the way, and a checkpoint in the way, you look at that checkpoint. And if it's not a checkpoint you really, really want, throw it away. It's no big deal. Make sure you're not throwing away important information, but you can throw it away if you need to. And that again, this is another one of the differences between VMware and Hyper-V. In Hyper-V, you'll have, of course, your library pane, for lack of a better term, your actions pane, and your middle pane with your VMs and the information about in a top bar. And the middle third of that middle column is actually checkpoints about the VM you're working with. And if that box is empty, there are no checkpoints. If you've got a whole bunch of checkpoints in there and you didn't remember taking them, it is taking them automatically. The bottom pane, of course, the bottom third of that middle pane is information about the VM. Its version, memory, whether it's clustered, etc. So next we'll talk about adding virtual hard disks. We're almost to the end of this. This will be, I think, this next video. This is a video 11 of 13, I think. We're almost, sorry, 11 of 15. We're almost to the end. So please be patient and we'll keep going. And thank you for watching.